Good morning again to everyone. We want to have a very interactive session. I'm a trained accountant, so everything I do is about accounting. But it's nice if a client talks in a way they understand and it allows you to address their concerns. So no question will not be, every question will be allowed. So whatever comes into mind, you deal with GRA, you are paying VAT, your accounts must be prepared and all that. How many of us here have prepared our 2017 accounts? Oh, so how do you assess your performance? Yes, so that is where accounting comes in, right? And so there's a legal requirement for accounts preparation, a legal requirement. How many of us here have our businesses registered as a company? A company. Yes, so there's a legal requirement. How many of us have a business registered as a sole proprietorship? So the rest of us, what kind of business are we running? If you're not a company or sole proprietorship, what type of company are you running?
Unregistered sole proprietorship.
Unregistered, okay. And so in our laws, that's an illegality to run a business without proper registration. But that's something for another issue. But as a general rule, we must have this culture of getting our accounts prepared. It allows you to assess your performance financially. And if you don't do so, there are times when you assume you are making profits, but for all you know, you may be running into losses. And that could explain why a business will start nicely, but in no time it goes down. There are times when you are making profit, but maybe you could have multiplied the profit by 4 times, but you don't know what is going wrong. So accounts preparation is and even for your private life, when you take your finances personal and you want to understand the ins and outs, how money gets to you and how you spend them, and that is all the world of an accountant. All we do is tracking how money gets to us and how money goes out, so you can advise yourself. So personally, I keep an account for my person. Once a month, you look at that account and you could see this X amount going into what you eat, what you wear, what you give out, to tell yourself, can't I pull a break? So if I look at what you eat, what you wear, what you give out, and your 3-bedroom is still uncompleted, it tells you you've done good enough. Now be selfish a bit. So accounting is very key. Dealing with my clients, there are some instances where you don't even have the exact idea as to how much you owe a supplier. And then you begin to talk about, I owe him like 80,000. There's nothing called 80,000. You always owe a supplier 82,750 CD, 50 pesos. But because you don't know how much you owe, you talk like, I owe him like 80,000. There are even times where you have even finished paying how much you owe. But because you don't keep proper records. So record keeping and accounting is key. And so you must think of, how do I get that done? And so this, instead of taking you through slides, I won't do that, because I know you can read it. But I'll find ways to make you understand how you can keep records for your business and be able to be on track, and to think of getting your accounts prepared, and to think of being able to keep a certain record of your finances. It is key. Or else your business will just be inside. Then, secondly, you have instances where you may even be paying GRA more taxes than you're supposed to pay, because you don't keep proper records. So it is very key that your accounting becomes okay. Some of us will say, oh, my business is so small, I cannot employ an accountant. Yes, it's possible not to employ an accountant, but you can engage the services of an accountant who may come in once a week or once a month to advise. And you find some fee for the person. Having that done is better than maybe the current state you are in now. Those of you may be paying VAT. Anybody who pays VAT? Anybody whose business is VAT registered? Yes. So it's possible that you may even be paying more VAT than you're supposed to pay. Or you may be refunding more VAT than you're supposed to refund, just because your accounting may not be right. And so accounting is key. And for those of us who are yet to register our businesses, it's very important. And keeping documentations is very key for tax purposes as well. If Jerry comes to office now and says, we are charging you a tax, a corporate tax or personal tax of 2,000, what is the basis? The basis is simply an assumption. They assume you are making money, and so they are imposing an estimated tax on you. But you can refute that amount if you were keeping proper records and if your accounts were being prepared. And today, as I talk to you, Prof. Barton is an IT man. There are software that can easily get your account done. Some of them are even apps on phone. You can virtually download an app on your phone to keep proper records. And where we are going, GRA is wild. Our taxes are very key to us. And so it's about time we think of how do I get this accounts done. For me, being in this room under Perth gives me a sense that you are already an association. So an association, if all of us were bringing 50 Ghana, it may be 1,000, 2,000 for Perth to engage you one accountant who goes around all of your businesses and allow you. So instead of you employing one accountant at 1,000, we all come together as an association, and this guy just go from one shop to the other and sort your accounts out. And the burden on you will be lower. I'm sure if you got somebody who claimed to be unemployed from Takoradi Technical University, who read accounting, and all of you were giving 150 each a month, put together, we have about 4,000. Haven't you put that young man in employment? Whose job is to move from your company, and sorting out. Right, so for me, these things can easily be done, and we can look at ways of doing it. So accounting is a legal requirement. Accounting is also an ethical requirement. And so having a company of his own, most likely the other director is a wife. For most men, most likely. I do with the clients. So I'm a prophet one. I can tell what the husband will do with the business. You see, so ethical requirement. But ask him, has he ever called an AGM, annual general meeting between him and the wife? The wife is a director. This time it's not about husband and wife, it's about a business. So, name, sir. Good. So he's a good man. So he has a board meeting every quarter. So he has an ethical requirement to report that our business is doing X or Y. But once accounts are not being prepared, he's reporting based upon how he feels that how you feel the business is maybe doing. Oh, good. Do you have an accountant of your own or somebody that does it? Oh, okay. Oh, good. So then, like, if you're looking at a business that is big, a bit, are you large so that your friends can learn?
About 34 staff.
Oh, good.
We have 34 staff.
Oh, good. So why did you pick an accountant? Why did you employ? So that our friends here who don't have accountants will learn.
Yes, like you did say, you need to know where you are going financially, whether you are making profit or not.
Good.
And if you are not getting your records right, then you will not know where you are going.
Right.
Initially, I was doing it myself.
Okay.
Then as the company grew, you cannot do that.
Right.
So you have to go and push the production section or the
Right.
services section.
Right.
So you have someone that keeps the record for you.
Good.
The other thing also is you need, as the company grow, you need to try as much as possible to separate yourself from the organization.
Good.
So you pay everybody, including yourself.
Good.
And everybody knows that, all the staff know that they don't come to you for their salary. They
Right.
go to the account office
Good.
to pick their pay slips or whatever.
Right.
It builds a certain kind of credibility.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
that is there.
Right.
On top, for us, we do an open book policy thing.
Right.
So everybody knows the accountant will come and tell us, the sales people will come and tell us. the
Right.
accountant.
Right.
So that at the end of the day,
Right.
the staff know where we are going, so that they don't put a lot of demand on you.
Right, good.
If they know someone is telling them this is
Right.
so-
Right.
so-
And then.
And then the internal revenue too, every now and then they are coming.
Right,
So
good.
if your records are not right,
Right.
they maybe collapse your company.
Right. Right. And what are the basic records? I'm pretending I don't know anything about accounting, so that our friends here will learn.
Well, your sales records should be
Right.
clean.
Right.
You have
When,
to,
when an accountant says sales, they are talking about your revenue. When you sell, you must keep proper records. That's why we say when you sell, issue a receipt. So at least a receipt is what we call a source document. It's a document where you can pick data on sales. So every day, some of you may even use a book. Some of you, I know, go to a shop and there's a note a book. You try to do so. But the other thing that is saying was that he wants to move away from accounting into proper operation and strategic thinking. And so once you are not there and people are selling for you, you must find, so that's an example of a receipt. When you have staff who are working for you, in order to track your revenue, they must force them to issue a receipt so that you can check if your cash is intact. And so some of you may use a computer printed, let's say, receipts, and you must insist it is done. Sometimes you yourself do a mystery shopping. Send your maid to go and buy from your own shop and find out if the attendants are issuing the receipts. These are all tricks you intentionally do because you want to be sure that when you say I made a sale of 10 Ghana a day, when you come back to the shop, you must be able to flip the receipt books and cast it. So receipt number 1 to 5. When you add the figures on each of them, it must be equal to the 10. If you come and it is 8, be angry. What that means is that the attendant can pocket your money. So these things are what we do in accounting in order to track that revenue. And then when you now pick that 10 Ghana, make sure it goes straight to your bank account. Don't spend out of the money in cash. Make sure the 10 Ghana cedi is paid into your account. Then use a check to withdraw the money and spend. Once you do so, you have a track of your sales. So all the deposits on your bank statement is a sale. Once you are withdrawing with a check, at least if you wrote the purpose in the counter for the check, you can always track what you are using the money for at any time. So these are what it's saying basically is referring to as the sales, and it must be religiously done. The other question I want to find out, how has accounting assisted your business to grow?
Yeah, with accounting,
Thank you,
can
Prof.
now every year have a sales target.
Right.
It will also help you to have an idea of your total expenses.
Right.
You have an idea of the costs of goods.
Right.
And then
So once you mention expenses, let me talk about expenses.